Hey guys, thank you for watching. I just wanted to do a quick video, just something fun and a little bit different. I've been doing a lot of React and MERN Also, I've been, of course, doing my full app MERN course, and that's still in the process. Coming out with the next video pretty soon. But in the meantime, I wanted to do just sort of a JSON crash course, sort of the things you need to know with JSON, because that is, especially with React, Vue, Angular, etc. Those are the most this is the most popular way of transferring data and storing data. Um, for applications. Now this is regular JSON. There is something called BSON, which is for binary, which includes PDF files, images, etc. We're not going to be really dealing with that. This is a basic crash course. So JSON or JavaScript object notation. So basically, valid JSON is also valid JavaScript technically. Um, so I just wanted to go over some stuff, give you some syntax, descriptions, and examples because that's important, and just a few ways to sort of deal with it and get it. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to jump right into it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to have this JSONlint.com. It's basically if you need to test if you have valid JSON. And we're going to sort of go through some of the basic syntax of JSON. So the first thing you need to know is we need to, similar to JavaScript, is we need to open curly braces, right? And we can give it some space. Secondly, and probably the most important thing, JSON is made up of key and value. So basically, um, in this version of NoSQL, meaning MySQL databases, if you've heard of them, they're sort of linear. They go all the way across. If you need more information, you add another table and then you join them. Whereas JSON can just be added in sort of a tree-like format, so it can really get a lot of information stored um, in basically a single file, basically. So, but it's all boils down to key value pairs, and maybe you've heard that before. So the key is the name of it, the name of what you're referencing. Okay, the name of your information. So we'll do key. So we're going to do double quotes key. That's going to be uh, our key, and then we're going to give it a value. So this could be anything, and that's valid JSON. So we can click valid JSON, and it is. I'll give you another example. So we can do name colon, always double quotes, and then a colon, and then our value can be a string of Adam, and then we'll check that, validate JSON, and it is. Let me show you. So if we just did name, now this is common in JavaScript. This is how you would do key value pairs in JavaScript. Uh, but in JSON, it's technically not valid JSON. So it's not. It's an error because you need quotes around both. We could do numbers. So we do age, and pretty much anything you could do. Your core data types are in there. Whoops. So we're going to do an age, which is my age. For a number, you don't need. Only for a string do you need double quotes around the value. Okay. So you do it like that. You can do is loaded colon, and then you can do true or false Boolean values. You can do also null. So basically, this is how you do it. So all your basic. Oh, you can also do arrays, I think. We're going to find out. So an array, uh, correct, yes. So you do an array. You can also do objects inside of objects. Okay, so I'm going to delete this for now. So for example, here's sort of a standard JSON situation that you would find yourself in. Name, and then, oh, by the way, something very important, a comma to separate the lines. So age, colon, we'll say 38, and then we'll say address, colon. Now, we're going to break up address into two things, two separate objects, okay? One is going to be the street address, and the second is going to be the town, the state, and the zip code. So what we're going to do is we're going to open a set of curly braces inside of the two main curly braces, and we're going to do, we'll call it street, colon, oops, and then we'll do a, oops, forget to close that off, and then we do colon, and then we do our street, which is 1, 2, 3, any street, period. Close that string off, comma, and then we'll say town, I guess, whatever, doesn't matter. And then we have our string, which is, actually, you know what? Let's break that up. Let's say anywhere, just so I can give you another example, anywhere PA, okay, close off the string. Go down to the next row. Whoops, we forgot our comma. Go down to the next row and we'll do zip code. Zip code, because that's a number. Then we'll do comma and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, sorry, it just jumped. 1, 2, what the? I don't know why that's. Oh, sorry, my stupid. Sorry about that. 2, 3, 4, 5. My number lock was on the thing. It's a new computer. Okay, so our address is broken up into separate things. Let's do something like hobbies. Oops, I can't even spell hobbies. And again, we're outside of this bracket, so we use a comma. So our double quotes, hobbies, include, and we're going to make this an array. So we're going to end strings inside of an array. I'm sure you know. We'll say, I don't know, sports. I hate soccer. No offense. Sorry. Sports. Beer. Although I don't advise that as a hobby. Uh, and bird watching. AKA very boring. Alright, so anyway, so that's our array. So let's check and see if it's valid JSON. And luckily enough it is. Alright, so this is how we this is sort of the standard thing. And you can have, let's say, is member set to true, comma. Oh, whoops, yeah. Might help if I followed my own things here. So here, there we go. Still valid JSON, true. Okay, and so this is it. So you have strings, numbers, booleans, objects, and arrays inside of it. And then there's also null, which we already went over. So I mean, this is a somewhat of a standard JSON data that you would see in something like React, where you would go to a MongoDB database and retrieve this information, and then you would have to retrieve it. There's one more thing I wanted to sort of touch on. This is Postman. It's a program basically. You go Postman, Google Postman, and it's postman.com, and then you download it and you install it, and then you can use it on your PC. And excuse me, this is JSON placeholder that I just got from Googling JSON placeholder. And it's jsonplaceholder.typecode.com. And then it's basically just dummy data. It's basically like just empty data that you can use to test. So these are to-dos. It gives you just a bunch of them. Um, so what I wanted to do is, so I got the to-dos, and I just wanted to show you sort of like a real life sort of JSON response that you would get. And this is a good way to test it and sort of get yourself familiar with it. So you can see I already did it just to test. So basically, when you install it, you open it up. I think you have to sign in with Google. It's not a big deal. Or you just create an account, one or the other. And then here in your interface, so basically, don't save. So basically, when you open it, it looks like this. This won't be here. I just trash that. And you add a request, and we're going to make a GET request. And we're going to have our, I got to do that again, JSON, whoops, JSON placeholder, type your code here, okay, and let's do these posts. And so this is our uh, URL that we're going to hit, and we're going to place it in here, and then we're going to hit send. And then it should come back, and here's all of our, what was that? Oh, here's all of our posts, right? That's it. And this is, so this is a prettier version where it sort of formats it, where it's like line breaks. If you want to see the raw, it looks like that. Not as nice. I forget what some of these other ones are, but you can, this is basically an interface. Um, this is, of course, the body of your response because that's what's sent back. So, but as you can see, opening and closing curly brackets, commas in between each line, um, uh, uh, quotes, double quotes around the key, uh, no quotes around numbers, uh, quotes around the string values. Okay, let's see, that's all they have. But as you see in my example of checking it, for booleans, you don't need a quote. And here's our example of objects uh, inside of objects. Here's our example of arrays inside of objects. Um, and that's really it. It's not too difficult to understand. It's pretty easy, but it is definitely one of the things that you need to grasp in order to do things like React and Node and stuff because JavaScript object notation is part of JavaScript and it was built from JavaScript. So it's very important to understand. So listen, any questions, throw them down in the comment and I'd be glad to get back to you. I usually get back pretty quick. If not, my GitHub account will also be in the description. But yeah, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. I truly appreciate it. And I'll be coming out with the second video for developing the back end of the full MERN stack soon, I hope. I just got a new computer, so hopefully I can crank him out a little bit faster at this point. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks.